What up, everybody? My name's Impractical, and welcome back to Sonic Speed Simulator. Today, we're going to be going over the Chao School. That's right, Chao School is here, and it's not what I expected. We got ourselves an event, a special Chao, and a lot of comments that are going to be saved for the end of this video. So if you'd like to check that out, just please stick around and enjoy the video. Before we get into the event, let's check out this huge pet sale. Okay, so as you guys can see, we have a lot of Chaos up for sale. And of course, I have all of them maxed out and fused. So here are the stats displayed on screen for you guys to see. If you're curious, what are the stats for each of those Chaos? Now, I will let you know the stats that they display when you buy them on the podium are only the max stat unfused. So that is why I'm trying to make it a priority just to show you guys the fused max stats, because that is a big difference. Why buy one when you can buy 5 and get the most out of your buck? Now, for a lot of people wondering, yes, none of these Chaos are on the best list. The only ones that are on the best list is obviously the Knuckles Chao, which I'm pretty sure everyone knows by now. And if you're a newer player in the game and missed out on the Knuckles series event, this is the only time you can pick up the best damage Chao in the game. But if you're a collector like me, you're of course going to get them all and max and fuse them just to keep them in your inventory. I think I have like 1 or 2 alts with some extra spares just in case for trading purposes or just for my collection book. I can't help it. I love collecting these little guys. Now, I will say the other best in slot that is on sale currently is the Rouge Chao. That Chao is the best in slot for rings for pay to win players. So you have 2 Chaos in the best in slot available in this game. Knuckles being the most well known for damage, and Rouge, which is now the best known for rings. Of course, Metal Sonic Omo Chao is a part of that list, but Rouge is always available, thank God. Alright, back to the event. So this event, Chao School, has us going around the map collecting Chaos. The rewards will be as follow. We'll get 50 additional inventory space. We will be able to get 5 of the legendary Gemerl trail. We will also be able to get Chocola as our new fast run and the G hoverboard, which will be the last reward given out. And then after completion of all 5, we get Gemerl himself. Now, this is interesting because this event is actually played out more as a tutorial, which is led by Vanilla, which is nice to see her having a character model in the game and more Sonic characters being introduced in the SSS universe. Alright, let's talk builds. Since this event is mostly centered around you collecting Chaos from various vending machines, here is the build that I ran with during this event. Of course, I had my UGC that applied plus 5 luck. I did had the trails. I had 5 Crimson Chaos, well, Crimson Wisp, which are the best in slot for luck. I also had a level 6 star classic Sonic. So the total luck was about 126 altogether, and that kind of sped things up with the vending machines, just making sure I get the Chaos that were required. Now, if you are unable to attain a build similar to this, then that is just fine. Just having a few of the Crimson Wisp or a character with luck itself will actually still benefit you in the end. Now, for me, I like to just, if I like to take things, I like to take things all the way. So, of course, I would show off what a big luck build will look like, and I just wanted you guys to get an idea. Now, if you have nothing like this, it's fine. Just a few luck wisp or Chaos will get you through this event pretty easily. The other thing I would like to note in this event, vending machines can get pretty costly. Early on, they are cheap, but once you make your way to New York City and Hilltop, they can get pretty pricey, especially when you're chasing for the Chaos required for the event. Now, of course, with that being said, I will give you guys my biggest tip, which is go for the cheapest vending machine. Yes, the cheapest vending machine. You don't need to go for the most expensive to complete this event. It's pretty much easy. Of course, on screen, you're going to see I did 5,000 for Green Hill, but that's because the 100 ring vending machine was moved off to the right side of the pet sale, so you shouldn't be able to miss it there. But the good thing is, once you complete that portion of the event and you're unlocking these Chaos, you will get like a little tutorial explaining what each of the stats are. I'm more interested in seeing how this plays out on the bigger picture of the game, especially for newer players. Hopefully this is an early on event and not locked away somewhere pretty far, considering how, you know, the way this game works. Overall, it's a pretty smooth process, especially for players who have already worked their way up to Hilltop, so it shouldn't be too hard for you to unlock any of these. But for my players who didn't unlock every single Chao in the game yet, you're gonna have probably a hard time with the vending machines, especially when you don't have enough luck, because it can cost you spending upwards to billions and even almost trillions of rings, depending on the area. And Hilltop is basically a money sink. Now, of course, once you complete the event and that portion of it, you will get Chocola, which is the new fast friend. It's similar to cheese. Sorry about that. And the best thing about this Chao is that it is also the new best in slot fast friend for stamina. It actually beats toy robot Sonic. So this is a must-have for anybody who needs a stamina focused build, especially for races. So if you're unable to get this fast friend, you might be missing out. The crazy thing is, I know a lot of people are asking how are you able to use Chaos for the fusion machine. The Chaos that I'm using are premium Chaos. Yes, these are extra premium Chaos from the legendary spinner and some from the cheaper podiums that are hidden around. So of course I'm going to be dumping them in just to get Chocola maxed out. Okay, so the last portion of the Chao School is regarding Chao Fruit. That's right, Chao Fruit can only be collected in Green Hill and Hilltop. Those are the only two locations. Now, they are affected by event Chaos. I will be showing on screen a build for events. Now, I know a lot of folks are probably wondering why I didn't include Race Suit Cream or Race Suit Classic Knuckles. The reason being is because it wouldn't make much of a difference. They would have just made it a 5.6 and I wouldn't benefit from the value at all because this game rounds down from the decimal. So 5+ was the best. I just kept Classic Sonic and then I just ran the map. That's pretty much it. For my newer players, I did made a free-to-play list showing where you can get event-based Chaos. Unfortunately, the free event Chaos that are given through the vending machine would have only brought you up to a +1. It still helps. It's better than nothing. So it would have just double up the pace, whereas in having a +5 actually speeds the progress a lot drastically. So for free-to-play players, it probably will make a slight difference for you guys, but not really so much. You won't really see a big change unless you end up with Chaos like these, because then it gets pretty drastic. Now on screen you guys are going to see me running the entire map, but I also wanted to show off how fast the progress is with +5 event bonus. Now as you guys can see, the Chao Fruit collected, I am collecting in a rapid succession. It is filling up pretty quickly. In fact, doing this only took me about 5 minutes of running around the entire map, and I was able to get 5,000 Chao Fruit just by staying in Green Hill alone. Now you can auto run this, especially for my free-to-play players, which can be a bit of a struggle. I would recommend to just auto run, especially if you want an AFK method where you can't actually farm it. You will get it. It will take about like an hour at most. I doubt a full hour would actually pass before you're done with this part of the event, but it should be pretty simple with that method. All right, let's go over our rewards. Now, of course, we went over Chocola already. He's the big ticket Chao that everybody wants, the fast friend. But Gemerl is a pretty interesting robot. He's a balanced type character with a focus in magnet, and we have a new stat introduced in the game. You probably noticed that I put a little Knuckles there symbol because I got some shade to throw with that one, but again, I'll save it for the end. Gemerl can glide. Yes, Gemerl is introducing a glide like stat ability in the game, and it's a pretty interesting thing to see. You can go a pretty good distance with it. Now you will start seeing this stat. It will be revealed around star level 3, and then I think it maxes and caps off at star level 6 to a 3 value, but it is still it's still very interesting. Ignore the percent side for that, but as you can see, his glide does take him a pretty good distance. The way I view this is a weaker form of Neo Metal Sonic and Supersonic's flight. It can take you across gaps and such, but it won't it won't send you flying through the air. Okay, let's just go over my final thoughts. Overall, event was pretty decent. It's a good tutorial. It explains a lot to the players, especially about the stats. That's the biggest thing. We needed a tutorial that can concisely explain things to newer players and players that have been playing the game that don't know. A lot of you guys do, rely on either YouTube videos or guides. Hell, my guide for all these stats explain is one of my biggest videos. So that tells that, hey, you guys have been craving for some explanation tutorial from the game, which is a good thing to see. But when I look at this event overall, I just don't see the point in a lot of things. Like, yeah, the event was lackluster. We got Chocola, which is again the biggest highlight. And we saw Vanilla, we see Gemerl. We know that this is completing the whole Cream the Rabbit family, which is really nice. But that's where the line draws, okay? We're talking about Gemerl's ability or stat, which is glide. Again, this is a stat that's been requested by everyone, not a stat, but an ability everyone requested for Knuckles. They wanted every character in the game to have their abilities from prior games, like Tails' his flight, Knuckles' his glide, Rouge can glide, so on and so forth. But the crazy thing when it comes to this glide is that it's like, why? You introduce it to Gemerl, but it's not really needed. It doesn't really offer, and it's like a lesser form of the flight that you can get from the super characters. To make matters worse, the super characters are better than this, because the 4th quest for Gemerl's quest line has you in Hilltop. So if you just turned around, you'll see Neo Metal Sonic boss fight, and you could just unlock them, which again, you get the better version right there. So you have Knuckles taking 2 L's. 1, because his glide was given to Gemerl. Cool. And 2, I've been trying to look for that symbol that's used for the glide ability in this game, and I couldn't. It was familiar and I couldn't pin it down. The crazy thing was, I saw a tweet from Alan and it explained everything. It's the symbol for Knuckles' glide in his skill tree in Sonic Frontiers, which is pretty crazy. So not only was Knuckles' glide ability was given to another character that's introduced, the symbol was taken from him as well and given to another character. So this whole thing, I'm just like, yeah, why? I mean, it's a cool mechanic but it's a stat, which kind of gives off the wrong impression that they're going to add it as other stats, and I doubt that. They should have just kept it as an ability specific to characters. The same with Supersonic's flight, the same with Ryder's characters having double jump, only Sonic and the Babylonian Rogues. But yeah, that's where my thoughts lie. They should have just kept it as ability specific to the character. It's weird to see it as a stat and makes no sense. But those are my thoughts to the event. What do you guys think? How do you guys feel about the glide? Do you think it's worth it? Because again, you guys know my thoughts. I don't see the point in it. But that's what the comment section is for. Comment down below. Let me know what you guys think. My name's Impractical. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. And of course, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.